Despite mounting public pressure, the U.S. State Department is not commenting on the extradition request. Let's go now to criminal defense attorney Janet Johnson. Janet, good morning to you. Always good to have you.
Good morning. Thanks.
Let's talk about that request and the politics at hand here. Will that play into whether or not the request is accepted?
Well, it's a popular thing, I think, the idea of extraditing him. And in Zimbabwe and the U.S. do have extradition. So, I think what they might want to do is come to an agreement that he will go there voluntarily. 2 men have been arrested. They're out on bond. It wasn't very expensive. It was a couple $1,000s. So at a minimum, the dentist is a witness to what happened. And, he may also face charges. So I think he's going to go back there one way or the other. He may not be extradited. He may voluntarily go back.
Well, let's talk about what he could possibly be charged with, because hunting big game there in Africa, and I ask you whether or not that goes to these poaching laws that they have there. He claims he did not know this was Cecil the lion, so to speak. Is it that he killed this particular lion or that he was hunting big game in the first place?
Right, because, those of us who don't get to see lions all the time think it's outrageous that he could hunt lions at all. But it is that they took this lion from the preserve and lured him onto the farm, and the proper permits weren't issued. But ignorance of the law, as we all know, at least in America, is not a defense.
So that may not come into play there, but there in Zimbabwe, we wonder whether or not the same laws come into effect. We also hear that he kept some of Cecil's remains as sort of a trophy. The PR aspect of this is pretty damning. I mean, you have him standing there holding the head of Cecil the lion, and really people knew about this hunt, and it wasn't until public pressure mounted that any steps were taken.
Right. Well, plus, Cecil had a collar. It wasn't hard to figure out this was a special lion. And he also, was extraordinarily beautiful. But the fact that he may have some of the remains may get him in trouble in the U.S. because there is a law called the Lacey Act of 1900. You don't hear about it every day. But in fact, even though the hunting occurred overseas, if he brought the remains back here and it was an illegal hunt, he may be in trouble in the U.S. as well.
Very, very interesting. Janet Johnson, we do appreciate you being with us. You take care.
Thank you.